This week's Community Crunch is finally here, and we have a lot of interesting information that we need to talk about. I need to go over this with you guys because they have given us some very important first looks at things that are coming with Tides of Fortune and with Genesis Part 1. This is the image that they released with the Community Crunch this week. It was kind of like the main image for it, and there's a lot that we need to talk about. So like I said, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here, and let me know down in the comments what you think about all the stuff that we're going to talk about and what you think about this image, because there's a lot going on here. So before we get into talking about what's in the image, I do want to go over just the information that's in the Community Crunch because there's definitely some important information here. They titled this Community Crunch a crackin' good time, and this is definitely getting up a lot of excitement for a lot of people for Genesis Part 1. So let's go ahead and talk about it here. On June 25th, Genesis Ascended Part 1 is launching beside Bob's True Tales Tides of Fortune. This we already knew. This is no new information. We already knew all this. I've talked about it a few times in my videos. I think it's really important for us to just realize that there's a very good chance that this is going to come out on time. I'm hoping it's going to come out on time. I know everybody keeps commenting in my comment section that it's not, but I believe, all right? Look, somebody's got to believe in Wildcard, and that person is me. Now, moving on, let's talk about the things that they talk about here. So with new water physics, customizable vessels, and a vast ocean playground filled with islands, fortresses, and dangers to discover, life at sea is about to become an adventure all its own. This is really interesting and really important. They haven't really talked too much about this fortress thing, and when they mention islands, I think that now kind of gives us a good chance that the biomes from Genesis Part 1 are going to be islands. Well, there's two different theories that we have right now. I originally had my own idea that maybe the different biomes would be similar to the extinction bubbles, where each of the biomes is encased in a bubble, so you just walk into the biome and you experience the biome there. That was one of my theories, and I may be moving away from that theory and moving more into one of the other ones that we've discussed in my community, and that is the idea that the biomes are going to be islands, and you just sail to the islands to experience the biomes. I don't know how that would quite work with space. I'm not really sure how all of that would work. Maybe the ocean drops off like the edge of the world into space? Oh, that just came to my mind. Okay, wait, now I'm cooking with that. Okay, wait, that would actually be crazy cool. You know, like in, I think it's Pirates of the Caribbean, where the water just, like, you get to the end of the world and then the water cuts off. It's the whole idea of the flat earth, right? Oh, that would be very interesting. And then you get to the edge of the world and there's the space biome. Oh, if they did that, that would be so crazy. Okay, the other idea is that there still will be teleportation. However, it'll just be into different worlds, similar to how it is in Gen 1 in ASE, where you teleport around to the different biomes. But I guess maybe the main biome is the ocean biome, and then you teleport to the other ones. I don't know. We don't know because they haven't really given us anything on the different biomes in Gen 1. So yeah, let me know in the comments. I really want to know different theories, different ideas, what you guys think about that. But different islands could definitely be a thing. I just don't know how it would work with some of the biomes. It would be very interesting. Moving on, we do know that the Paleo Octopus is a free creature in ASA. It is a free creature. It is coming with Gen 1, and I think we're going to talk about something else in this picture very, very soon. In case you have missed my most recent video, I did talk about the difference between the paid stuff and the free stuff coming with Gen 1 and what you needed to know about. So if you haven't already gone and watched that video, you should go watch my June 2026 video. That is my most recent one before this on my channel. Not every new arrival is here to sink your ship. The Tide Pup, this is the paid DLC creature, is one that is going to be able to help us rather than harm us. And it's supposed to be a benevolent amphibian that has earned a reputation as a wandering healer, offering aid to injured creatures wherever it roams. So this thing is going to be able to heal you and help you when you encounter it, probably as a wild creature as well. For survivors willing to prove their own compassionate nature, the Tide Pup may become one of the most loyal companions they've ever met. So it sounds like the taming method is going to have to do with helping creatures rather than hurting them. Whether you're assembling a crew, chartering unknown waters, or preparing for your next broadside, adventure awaits just beyond the horizon. It does sound like here that the ships are going to be able to be used in PvP. Maybe it could be quite interesting for those of you that play PvP or do PvP events. Now, I'm not going to talk about the other stuff in the community crunch. I did already mention in that June 2026 video that we were going to be getting the anniversary event. So I'm not going to talk about that. Definitely looks like we actually have probably a snippet from a trailer here, which we'll get probably on June 2nd. Now, let's talk about this picture here. This is what we need to talk about because there's a lot here. With Genesis Part 1, Tides of Fortune, we do get paid stuff. And these paid things include skins, items, and of course, the creature, the Tide Pup. Now, there is no Tide Pup that I can see in this image anywhere. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. However, we do get our first look at what is likely going to be the paid DLC skin for Tides of Fortune. We can see this guy right here in the front and the guy next to him wearing these red and white striped pants. We've got long pants, we have short pants, we have our shirt, we have obviously no shirt. We also have a hat, we have an eye patch. We have a lot going on here in terms of what we're probably going to see as our main skin for the Tides of Fortune. So that's really cool. We can finally have an idea of what that looks like. We also have this guy up here. So we have the pirate looking one, and then we also have the one who's wearing like a jacket. He's got pants, he's got boots. So there's obviously usually a few different skins that come with the DLCs. And this is what we're looking like we're getting. We're getting like this one up at the top that's being grabbed by the Paleoctopus. We're also getting these guys in their very, very interesting pirate gear. This guy looks like he's got some type of helmet on. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about are the weapons. All right, we don't know if these are going to be skins or if they're going to bring in actual new weapons as a part of the paid DLC. But it does look like we have a new pistol appearance right here down in the bottom. I'm going to try and zoom in for that in the edits for you guys so you can see that a little bit closer. We also have this very awesome looking cutlass sword. I'm very unfamiliar with pirate weapons. Well, this looks really, really interesting. You can also see some things that may be new items. We do have somebody wearing flak in the background. It looks like it actually might be... Wait a second. Is that what I think it is? Hold up. I need to do some research. Okay, I'm back. There's something I kind of wanted to pull up and just double check what it looked like. I'm not sure if this is what this is. I don't think it is, but it definitely looks like it might be. We might be getting the loadout mannequin back. I don't know how many of you have noticed this back here, but this is not a player. He looks like he's standing on a little platform. It looks like there is a piece of wood going into unmentionable parts. But this is not a player. But the first thing I thought of when I saw that was the Gen 2 loadout mannequin. That is a very real possibility. It looks like it might be a new kind of version of that. Maybe specifically with Tides of Fortune, we get a loadout mannequin sooner rather than later. But yeah, obviously it's a very different design. However, that is the first thing that I thought of when I saw that, because it looks like you are displaying your armor, unless it's just an armor display. But to me, that would be kind of silly. I would see them rather maybe doing a mannequin. Yes, let me know what you think. Do you think this is the mannequin? I'm not so sure. That is very, very, very cool. Now let's talk about, I guess, the parrot in the room. Yeah, looks like we're getting parrots. Let me know in the comments what you think about this, because this is kind of very exciting. This is the first thing that I and many other people notice, is that there is a parrot in this image, and there is no parrot in Ark. However, there was an Atlas parrot. So we have a very good chance that we're actually going to be seeing new creatures in ASA's Gen 1, which is something I personally really want to see. Some new X creatures, maybe some new tech creatures would be cool as well. But very specifically, it does look like we're getting another new creature called the Parrot, or maybe they're going to change it to something else, but it definitely looks like a parrot. Okay, so I've actually gone ahead and pulled up an image of what the parrot looked like in Atlas. This is the parrot. Yeah, you know, it does actually look like it'd be just picked up and thrown into Ark. I do believe that there is a lot of creatures have been brought over from Atlas and made into mods in Ark. However, this is what the parrot looks like. It is definitely, it could definitely match the pictures that we see from the community crunch. Yeah, I think it's a very good chance that they've basically just ported over the parrot and then they've made it kind of like they've upgraded it to make it look a little bit better. But that's it. Yep, that's the parrot. The parrot is coming as probably a new free creature. I can't imagine that they're going to make it a paid creature without telling us in advance. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But yes, we are getting the parrot. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is that they have done a big reveal in terms of what the saddle looks like for the Paleoctopus. We actually have an image here now of a guy wearing a tech suit, riding the Paleoctopus, him standing up there looking like he's controlling it with two little, I guess, horns coming out of the octopus. I don't know anything about octopus anatomy. Please don't come for me in the comments. But yes, this is what the Paleoctopus is going to look like with a saddle. I think it looks pretty cool. Definitely makes sense that they would have the saddle like this. I couldn't imagine it really any other way. It does remind me a little bit, I think, of the Tuso saddle as well, but obviously much different and with a very cool trident on the saddle. I just noticed that. So we have the octopus here and we have a trident. I wonder if they're going to be making an octopus boss. That is a possibility. Or maybe when Atlantis comes out next year, because that is a thing that a lot of people maybe have forgotten. Atlantis is coming next year as a new map. Maybe we'll get an octopus boss, a kraken boss, or maybe them just simply giving us a hint here that a kraken good time. It could just be referring to the Paleoctopus, or it could be referring to a new boss in Gen 1. We obviously know that there's a mini boss called Motor. I've talked about this extensively in my Genesis Part 1 guide. You should go check that out as well if you haven't already, just basically going over all the stuff that existed in Gen 1 in ASE. We obviously don't know everything that's changing in ASA, but, you know, it's a good idea to go back and look at it. But this is very interesting that it has like this trident and it has the octopus on it. It's very cool. Very, very nice looking saddle, in my opinion. All right, we have a few other little things that are kind of like little teasers. Over here in the corner, we have kind of like a bag with some cannonballs in it. Obviously, this would be like a decorative thing. And this ship is quite large. I think the other thing that we really need to talk about is that they've kind of revealed the ships to us a little bit in this image. The ship is quite large, and obviously it can fit a kraken on it. It can fit a Paleoctopus on it. So for reference in terms of size, you can kind of see how this is. We don't know if there's going to be different size ships, how the ship system is going to work, or anything like that, but it definitely looks like the ship, at least this one, is quite large. Do you guys think that we're going to have multiple different size ships, or is it going to be kind of one size fits all? Are we going to have to build our ships similar to how they did in Atlas, or is it going to be how it is in Ark? I'm not so certain, but this is very interesting, and there's just so much going on in this picture. So many itty-bitty reveals. I'm just trying to like look around, see if I've missed anything. I think the mannequin is one of the sneakiest ones in the background, but I definitely think that could be, it could either be a free thing. I don't think it will be. It might simply just be a paid Tides of Fortune kind of early release from Gen 2. Now, the other thing I kind of wanted to look at here are these coins, because we see them on the ground. Maybe coins are going to replace hexagons. I think that would be kind of weird. There is obviously no HLNA. There's no Helena visible in any of these images that we can see. So are they doing away with Helena? Are they doing away with HLNA? Or is she going to come back with Gen 1? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not so sure, but I can't really make out really what this is here. This coin, this pendant, but there's definitely more coins on the floor. There's obviously the coin around his neck. Yeah, I don't really know what they're gonna do with this. This is very interesting. We don't see HLNA here, and that makes me wonder if HLNA is going away, which means maybe the hexagon store is going away. Are missions entirely changing? Are we getting coins? Is there gonna be a coin system? We don't know. Anyways, guys, this is the reveal for Genesis Part 1 today from the Community Crunch as of May 30th. It's still not June yet. June 1st comes on Monday. But yeah, let me know in the comments, what are you guys thinking? What are you most excited for? What are your theories? What are your thoughts? I really want to know because everybody's got a little bit of a different idea on this map and what it's going to look like. So hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here, and hopefully I will catch you in the next one.